Right, can you see anything here? Let's go a little closer. Do you see we have a little primitive shelter? Look at the branches all folded over, and we've created a lattice, a wattle and daub type of beginning where the branches weave in and out. So here is our shelter. Here is the door. Let's go in. And it's quite comfy inside. Here's the roof, it hasn't been finished. Here's the side we were looking at. Here is the bed. We're looking at the rest of it. And this is the start of a primitive shelter. And to finish it, we'd have to spend quite a few more hours just making sure we can't see any sunlight. Okay, so let's pretend we're coming out of the forest here, and we come across this primitive shelter. Here's the door. We go in. We have a look. There's the wall I've just built. There it goes. There's the door. So let's just pan all the way around. And here we are back at the door. Now it's obviously not complete. We're going to continue piling branches onto it. But the main structure of the walls are now finished. You see this tree here bent over, laced together to another tree. So let's see if we can find a whole lot of trees that lend themselves to a dome. So I'm looking for a circle of trees to build my new next hut. Here is one tree. Here is another tree. That'll make a nice doorway. Then it circles around from this tree to this tree to this tree to this tree to this, possibly to this or this. We'll cut this out. Here the circle continues. There's another one. Here it continues. There's a whole lot of brush and stuff here. So these are in the center of my hut. They must go. Everything out of the circle and inside the circle's got to go, so I'm going to cut down everything except those trees that I've just pointed out. Right, so the time is 10:11 a.m. and we're about to start hacking and cutting out our little primitive shelter. Right, how do we make, or the roof of this place? Just watch what we do. Here are the two doorposts. So I take a tree that is part of my walls. I try and reach up as high as I could go so I don't break it. Then I reach for another tree as high as I can go. And now I'm going to wrap the two trees together without breaking them if possible. So there, that's wrapped. And that is wrapped a little bit. Then I'm going to tie it there. So how am I going to make some rope to tie it? Well, let's just get a branch. So where do we get our rope from? You get a branch that's got some green bark. And you try and peel the bark off. And we'll keep on doing this till we got a nice long piece of bark. So there's our longest piece. Then we're just going to tie this. And now we're going to keep on repeating that and pulling in all the branches to make our roof. So there's the first arch of our roof. Okay, so let's try pulling down a few more arches. Is done, and the time is 10:56. There's all the curves of our roof. Our doors. And now I'm going to take a break. Well, here we are back at the shelter. I've been cutting a few branches. I look a little hot and bothered. Here is the shelter. I'm going to pull down a few more trees, try and tie them down, and then I'm going to weave the green branches that I've got between these trees forming the wall. So let's give that a go. So I moved the camera to inside the house because I kept knocking over the tripod. So here's our door. Let's keep working on this. Right, have a look here. Here I've leaned a whole lot of branches against the wall, and then I put a branch around them, hooked it through this post, bent it back, tucked it in, and so that is holding a whole lot of branches here. Now I'm going to be working on my back wall. So I've cut a whole lot of branches down at the back so that I've got my material. I've cleared a path behind there. You want a path where you can walk around. And now I'm just going to have to weave the branches in and out. So as you can see, our back wall is partially built. So, I've hardly been going for 20 minutes this morning, or half an hour at the most, and we've managed to get that far wall up. Let's just show you what it looks like inside so far. So here's the one wall. Here's the wall I was working on. Here's the first wall. Here's the door. Here's the other wall. And here's the last section. This section here. It's a little bit into the sun, so this is probably the section that I would work on next. But I don't want to point the camera too much into the sun. So, okay, so let's pretend we're coming out of the forest here and we come across this primitive shelter. Here's the door. We go in. We have a look. There's the wall I've just built. There it goes. There's the door. So let's just pan all the way around. And here we are back at the door. Now it's obviously not complete. We're going to continue piling branches onto it, but the main structure of the walls are now finished.